Today we've got a video showcasing the best moments of Stewie's brilliance in Family Guy. Let's dive in. Number 1. Helping Brian come back to life in Season 12, Episode 8. When it comes to the good deeds Stewie has done, we definitely can't forget the time he rewound time to save Brian. The story kicks off during Christmas when the Griffin family, along with their new dog Vinny, heads to the mall so Stewie can meet Santa.
Deck their hearts with boughs of holly.
That's right, America. Don't forget. Your beloved holiday movie is incredibly racist.
And from not that long ago.
But Stewie's not exactly feeling the holiday cheer. When Santa asks Stewie what he wants for Christmas, Stewie can't hold back his feelings of grief and blurts out, "I want Brian back."
You want me to put a dead dog under your tree?
Yes! And I'd like a bike too.
Vinny, being the lovable new dog, feels for Stewie and in an attempt to cheer him up, tries to impersonate Brian when they get home.
My name is Brian, a.k.a. your favorite dog. Hey, whose leg do you got a gagoosh to get an amaretto di serrano around here?
To lift Stewie's spirits, Vinny surprises him with a gift. A severed foot he accidentally swiped from a gang of criminals.
Well, my friends, I think Johnny the Foot Giatelli is dead. Oh no! They killed Frankie Choo-Choo Chinelli instead.
Whoa, wait a minute. You sure that's what this means? Could be they killed Davy the Box Fratelli.
Ooh.
One of the guys mentioned they might have taken down Jimmy.
I just saw Jimmy yesterday at my kid's christening.
So maybe it wasn't Jimmy. Maybe this means they killed Anthony the Air Around the Box Manetti.
Oh no! They killed Sal holding the box that we can't figure out what the box means, Casella!
Then, Vinny gives Stewie a bowling shirt, but Stewie's not impressed. So Vinny takes him to the mall to find a toy Stewie might actually like.
What kid wouldn't want to play with these? What are you looking at? Not much. That's what I'm looking at. You want to have a go? I watch what I say with that other sheep right behind you. I played this as a kid.
Despite Vinny's best efforts to brighten Stewie's day, Stewie's still feeling down, until, in a twist of fate, he stumbles upon past Stewie, who's there to buy Christmas toys.
I don't understand, so I'm angry and hungry. I'm gonna go punch a sandwich.
Wow, good timing, little fella. This just came out today.
Yeah, I kind of knew that already.
See, since Stewie broke his time machine in the episode Life of Brian, this is Stewie's golden opportunity to save Brian, and of course, he needs Vinny's help.
Vinny?
That was a tough sandwich.
As tough as your mom's fat face.
Hey, leave my mother out of this. That woman stitched gloves till she was 90.
I heard she was good with her hands.
Nice. Hey, everybody, we got a funny sandwich here.
Vinny, being the clever pup that he is, flatters past Stewie with some well-placed compliments to get him to show off, which gives Stewie the chance to grab the time machine.
You know, my friends ask me, Stewie, why do you throw up after every meal? This is why.
Vinny stalls for time while Stewie makes the critical adjustment to the time machine, setting the clock to before the accident that killed Brian. Before zipping back into the past to save Brian, Stewie thanks Vinny for his help and says a bittersweet goodbye.
Good dog, Vinny. Good dog.
Georgette, I'm coming home.
Who the hell is Georgette?
Stewie then jumps into action, arriving just in time to stop Brian from gearing up for a game of hockey.
Brian, look out! What the hell?
Stewie's overjoyed to have saved Brian and explains everything so he understands what happened.
What the hell's going on here?
Brian, that car killed you. And when it did, a little part of me died as well. I couldn't live without you. So I came back from the future to save your life.
But of course, Stewie has to return the time machine to past Stewie so that his past self can still get back home.
Starting to think that guy wasn't a real modeling agent. And I'm starting to think that other guy wasn't a real penis butt inspector.
Brian, grateful for his second shot at life, thanks Stewie and points out that most families would just go out and get a new dog and forget all about the old one.
You know, a lot of other families would have just gotten a different dog and moved on.
We could never do something like that, Brian.
In the end, everything is back to normal, and we get to see the wonderful, hilarious Stewie Griffin we all know and love back to his old self.
Hey, who are you talking to out here?
A pretty awesome guy.
Oh, pretty awesome guy. Why don't you marry him, huh? All right, game on! Stu S.A. Stu S.A. Stu S.A.
Number 2. Saving Meg from human traffickers in Paris. Season 10, Episode 20. Meg and her friend Ruth arrive in Paris to study, but as soon as they land, they're kidnapped while Meg is still talking to Peter.
I will never be able to find you. But what I do have is $2 and a Casio wristwatch. You can have one of them.
Traqueur noir.
These guys are serious. Lois, Meg's dead!
In a panic, they call the FBI for help, but the bizarre FBI rules prevent them from taking action immediately.
If she's not found within 96 hours, chances are she's gone forever.
Then we've got to hurry.
Sorry, we can't begin our search until she's been missing for 96 hours.
With no other choice, they turn to Stewie and Brian, who waste no time booking a flight to Paris to rescue Meg.
Do you mind if we switch seats so my family can sit all together?
No, we don't. We don't switch.
Because when we booked, they didn't have 3 together.
Ma'am, your poor planning does not constitute an emergency for me. You'll see him in Paris. Go sit down.
When they arrive, Brian is stumped about where to start, but Stewie suggests they trace the kidnapper's voice from a recording he cleverly made. Of course, Stewie can't resist taunting Brian by playing a second.
Hello, Fundamental Industries. How can I help you?
Yeah, is this Bang Brothers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to cancel my subscription.
What's your name?
Brian Griffin.
And which site did you belong to?
The funniest part of this recording, Brian awkwardly giving the customer service agent the name of the website he subscribed to.
Captain Stabbin.
And how are you spelling that?
Captain, full word, then Stabbin, S-T-A-B-B-I-N apostrophe.
Okay, I'm checking.
Once in Paris, Stewie's bubble bursts. This place isn't the romantic city of lights he imagined. Instead, he's stuck in traffic and overwhelmed by noise pollution.
But monsieur, this is not a jackhammer. It is a jackhammer.
They use Google Earth and quickly identify the guy who approached Meg at the airport. Stewie calls him scum and compares his tactics to how the military targets minorities. Wow, Stewie, calm down.
Hey, other black guys, it ain't so bad.
They head to the airport and spot the guy, but he's quicker than a Spider-Man on caffeine, so Stewie and Brian can't keep up.
No, he's one of those parkour free-running guys. We'll never catch him.
Lucky for them, in his hurry, the villain gets hit by a bus, effectively halting his getaway.
Damn it. He died before he could tell us anything.
Brian, he's the first guy. The first guy always dies.
Well, I'm sure he didn't work alone. Maybe there's something in here we can use.
Ugh, this guy has a Velcro wallet. Grow up.
They follow the trail to a house where they find the guy with the matching voice from the recording, and a brawl ensues.
We haven't eaten since the plane. I'm starving.
Despite being alone, Stewie manages to take the bad guy down and discovers where Meg is being held.
I hope you burn in hell, along with the guy who came up with stuffing a turkey.
Hey, who wants to try some of my butthole bread?
But they're one step too late. Meg has been moved, leaving only her hat as a clue.
Where do they have the auction?
I don't know, but there is a courtesy shuttle that runs every 20 minutes.
What?
They track the kidnappers to an auction, and to get inside, Stewie hilariously pretends to be another kidnapped girl.
Hey, got one more here.
Oh, where are we? I'm from Atlanta. I don't know where we are.
Hey, you better hurry. They're starting soon.
Once inside, Stewie is separated from Brian and brought to the auction block. But he's not scared. In fact, he takes the opportunity to flaunt his gay charm.
All right, fellas, bring the lights up a bit, play the CD I gave you, and let's do this. Ah, that's right. You like that?
I have 50,000.
To save Stewie, Brian has to bid high, but since he's broke, they're caught and exposed. Just in time, Meg is brought up to the auction block with a ridiculously funny sound effect.
Wonder what music they're gonna use for her. Seems about right.
The trio is thrown in jail, but with some coordinated teamwork, they manage to escape. Stewie, feeling quite heroic, declares, "We're like Lois and Clark, and a guy who likes to tip over boats."
Uh-oh! Earthquake!
Hey, come on!
Careful!
Damn it, why is he still with us?
I know. Until now, walking to the other end of the United States seemed like such a good job.
Spotting Meg on a yacht, they chase after her. Once on board, they split up to search. Here we revisit a truly bad thing Brian did. He once shot an innocent person.
Huh, I'm kinda good at this.
Later, Dink.
Which was as messy as it sounds. Meanwhile, Meg, thrilled, learns she's being taken to marry a handsome, rich Arab prince.
But if you say yes, I will spend the rest of my days making your every wish come true. Will you be my wife, Princess Meg?
Oh, yes!
Just as she and the prince are about to kiss, Stewie barges in, shattering her dream and erasing her happy memory of it before whisking her back home.
No! Stewie?
Hi, Meg.
Number 3, helping Chris study history in season 13, episode 7. The story kicks off with Chris failing miserably at school. The principal warns that if he doesn't pass his history final tomorrow, he'll have to repeat 9th grade. Lois freaks out, but Peter reassures her, promising to help Chris. He says, "Trust me like NASA trusts me during the Apollo 13 crisis."
All right, I'm gonna need 3 coffins, mahogany with brass handles, 3 new daddies for the dead astronauts' kids, and a black suit for me.
Sir, I think I know a way we can get them back.
Is it hard?
It might be.
Yeah, we've kind of already decided we're going in this direction.
Peter's help involves locking Chris's door to make him focus, but he forgets his phone inside, leading to a hilariously chaotic situation.
Oh, crap. Lois, I don't have the phone. Stop sending pictures.
I already sent 4 more.
Chris, put down the phone. Don't look at those.
Wait a minute, that's both her hands. Who the hell is taking the pictures?
Seeing Chris down in the dumps, Stewie and Brian decide to step in. After a few questions, they realize Chris knows absolutely nothing about history, which only makes him more anxious. He's convinced that if he doesn't pass 9th grade, he'll be doomed forever.
I'll end up being one of those bus drivers that parents don't completely trust. You have a beautiful child, Mrs. Roberts.
Stewie, ever the problem solver, decides to use his time machine to teach Chris history, because after all, he's Chris's brother, and siblings must help each other out like that two-headed girl on TLC.
Okay, who wants to taste it and who wants to smell it?
To keep Chris from knowing it's a time machine, Stewie convinces him he's dreaming, and shockingly, Chris buys it.
Dreaming? Yay, no consequences! Ah, so lifelike!
All right, let's go back 6 minutes and try this again.
Stewie then promises Chris a special dream journey full of historical revelations, like how Jesus didn't really die on the cross. Because, you know, why not throw in a little drama?
So what was the cause of death?
Cocaine and severe trauma to the colon.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see those forms.
First stop, the year 1803, where Thomas Jefferson is trying to convince Congress to buy Louisiana.
Come on, guys. We're getting Oklahoma, Arkansas, Nebraska, Kansas, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Louisiana. What are the chances all those states suck?
Next, they head to a Paris bar in the 1920s, where American writers like Ernest Hemingway are getting their drink on, much to Brian's delight.
And hey, as a fellow writer, I would love to talk to you about the craft. I mean, God, if only we could get rid of these damn arms and attach the pen directly to the heart, right? You guys, I got his pen!
They then jet off to Brazil before soccer existed, Australia before shark tooth necklaces were cool, and Italy before pasta was invented.
Foul sound!
They were always a ridiculous people.
Hey, Family Guy, you're lucky I got a man of gut in the oven, or I'd bash your face into a bolognese. That's 2 kinds of food. That's how angry I am.
Stewie's mission is to show Chris the horrors of war, so they end up at Omaha Beach in 1944 to witness D-Day, but Chris is oddly more interested in Double D-Day.
9, no fire, it's good.
Heil Hooters!
Be careful, it could be a booby trap.
Otto.
They also visit Christmas night in 1776 to see George Washington heroically crossing the Delaware.
What's on his arms?
Those are water wings. He was terrified of the water.
Easy! And Jane Austen's house in 1798 for some light time traveling stress relief.
Give me some of that. The insides of men. This is what fuels me.
Amid the chaos, they accidentally land in Soviet Russia, where Brian has a heart-to-heart with Pavlov, the animal-abusing scientist.
Hey, Pavlov, you dog-teasing dick! How's this for positive reinforcement?
Then they end up at the British Parliament in 1912, where Stewie encounters a man who looks like a young Charlie Chaplin, only to realize it's actually Hitler.
Sir, please take this money and use it to pursue your dreams.
Danke. Stewie, I think that was a young Hitler. You just gave money to Hitler.
Yeah, but before all the crazy stuff.
Despite Stewie's best efforts, Chris remains completely uninterested, which sends Stewie into a rage. They argue, leading Chris to steal the time machine and board the Titanic. Naturally, Stewie and Brian have to chase after him.
Did I face bigger challenges, like trying to dress Jonah Hill for the Oscars? Okay, perfect. Tell him to stay exactly that weight. Yes? Oh, damn it!
Once aboard, they split up to search for Chris, with Brian heading to the lower decks to face some people he really doesn't want to see.
Excuse me, have any of you seen a blonde teenage boy?
Who's asking? Yeah, who the hell are you? And I'm the baby!
Eventually, they find Chris, but just as they're about to use the time machine to return home, the ship strikes an iceberg, throwing them into Titanic-level disaster.
Quick, Chris, Stewie, get on! To home!
Or I'll just put in the coordinates.
The time machine is broken, and they need to get to shore to repair it. Brian panics because, most people on the Titanic die, and he regrets never having successfully slept with a girl in a bathroom.
Oh, my back!
Should I put my foot in the soap dish?
Yeah, try that, and maybe stand on your tippy toes. Ah! How does water make it dry?
In a last-ditch effort to survive, they dress up as aristocratic women to get onto a lifeboat, succeeding only when Chris heroically tosses a sailor into the sea.
Get out of my way, you son of a bitch!
Oh no! I can't swim without my striped one piece!
After narrowly escaping death, Stewie and Chris bond, and when they return home, Chris is off the hook for the history test. Turns out he killed the ancestors of his history teacher, leaving the guy with a new teacher who's not obsessed with grades.
Hey everybody, I'm Teacher Doug, and I don't believe in tests.
Yay!
Number 4. Helping Brian escape his mushroom-induced delusions in Season 10, Episode 2. On a stormy day, Brian secretly pulls out some mushrooms for a little self-enlightenment, but Stewie catches him red-handed. Forced to confess, Brian admits the truth.
These are mushrooms. It's a psychedelic drug. Makes you see weird things and feel happy for a few hours. I figure we're gonna be stuck inside for a while with a storm, so it'll be a fun way to pass the time.
And Stewie, acting like it's the most normal thing in the world, casually says, "Oh, don't worry, my friends do this all the time. Just enjoy yourself, Brian."
Well, here we go.
Yeah, that's what my friends say too. Well, here we go. Oh, dude, I think I can feel it too. I'm getting a context high.
About 30 minutes later, the mushrooms start to mess with Brian's brain, and suddenly everything looks like it's been through a funhouse mirror. The funniest part? The warped image of the holy comedic figure himself, Peter Griffin. Losing all grip on reality, Brian grabs a pair of scissors and starts snipping away at his own ear, convinced he's preventing World War II.
I'm gonna cut my ear off to prevent World War II.
Ah! Ah! Oh God! Oh God! I wonder. Ah!
Stewie rushes to stitch him up, offering some calming words, suggesting he just breathe through it like that one time he saw Lady Gaga.
Okay, 5 minutes, Miss Gagina Big, and I will be right back with your Evian.
Stewie really is the best friend ever, comforting Brian with the promise, "Don't worry, I've got you. I'm here to take care of you." But Brian's mind isn't quite convinced, as everything he sees is still exaggerated beyond belief.
Do you like my soothing voice? Return the map. Return what you have stolen from me.
Stewie tucks him into bed, trying to soothe him, but Brian continues to shake, convinced he's slowly fading away. As the hallucinations get worse, Brian begins to see Stewie transform into a demonic figure.
Just relax and get some rest.
Next, he's thrust into a bizarre nightmare world where Peter is being roasted by demons, and Brian can only mutter, "Oh, good for him."
Round and round, the wheels on the bus go round and round.
The demons switch focus to Brian, and he bolts, terrified, only to be swarmed by angry bees.
Wanna have sex?
In an explosive moment of panic, Brian splinters into multiple mini Brians, all running in different directions, but no matter where they go, it's all hell.
Slip me some tongue.
Did you try the chicken, buddy?
I think you gave me worms, Brian.
Finally, thanks to Stewie's voice calling out to him, Brian snaps out of it.
Brian.
Stewie is truly the best friend a dog could ever have, looking after Brian like a champ.
Stewie?
Yeah, I'm right here. Oh my god, your lip looks really weird. Can we fix that? Get that out of there. Ew.
Oh, I'm so thirsty.
Number 5. Helping Brian kick his negative thoughts in Season 8, Episode 17. It all starts when Brian takes Stewie to the bank to check out a safe deposit box. But just as Stewie tries to leave, the automatic door slams shut and locks them inside. Stewie gets so scared, he literally wets himself.
Hello, we're locked in! Did you just crap your diaper?
I got scared when the door closed.
They try calling for help, but of course no one's answering. So they're stuck there overnight, and here's the kicker. Stewie needs a diaper change, and he asks Brian to clean up the mess by eating it.
If the poo were to be removed...
What is it? What are you driving at?
Eat it.
What?
Eat it, Brian.
You're out of your mind.
Brian, absolutely horrified, says he'd rather shoot himself than do that. Oh, and would you believe it? Brian just so happens to have a gun in his box, so the two of them end up fighting over it.
Stewie, come on. You don't know how to use that thing.
Oh, really? What if I hold it sideways like a black guy?
Whoa, come on, man. Take it easy, all right? I don't want any trouble.
There's not gonna be any trouble as long as you eat my poo.
Then they finally remember they can call for help, so they stop bickering. But classic Stewie, he uses his last call to make a personal request, draining the battery and leaving Brian fuming.
Give me Hey! Sorry, he's gonna have to call you back. It's dead. You wasted the one phone call we had to return a sweater?
A $3,000 sweater, which I am now stuck with. Oh, this day. Ah!
In a fit of rage, Brian slaps Stewie across the face. Stewie, now sulking in a corner and crying like a little baby, finally gets Brian to help him with the diaper.
Ah, don't do it right here. I don't want to watch.
What?
Take it over there. Do it in the corner. It's gross.
It's your poop.
Yeah, but it's your activity, you know? It's your thing.
To kill time, they start drinking. Drunk Stewie, in his best slurred speech, announces he can totally dance right now, and boy, his dance moves are famous.
Yeah, you know how to move. That is wow, that is awesome. I'm really impressed.
Things quickly spiral out of control as they start doing ridiculous things, including Stewie convincing Brian to pierce his ear, which ends in an absolutely horrific hole.
Oh!
What is it?
It's stuck. There, I think the pin's too thick to go all the way through.
Get it out!
Ah! Got it.
How's it look?
Cool.
The next morning, as they munch on breakfast, Stewie asks why Brian has a gun, especially when he's always complaining about stricter gun control.
What about all that liberal crap you're always spewing about stricter gun regulations? You even cried after Columbine.
Because that was a national tragedy.
Oh, it's kind of a regional tragedy.
Stewie is totally confused as to why Brian keeps the gun locked up in a safe. Brian doesn't want to talk about it, but Stewie begs him to open up. So Brian spills the beans.
I keep it in case I ever want to commit suicide, okay?
Wow. Oh.
Stewie, in his usual innocent way, doesn't understand why Brian is so miserable and would think such dark thoughts.
Sometimes it's all too much.
What is?
Life, everything. Just having the gun here, knowing there's a way out, it helps.
Brian admits he's been searching for the meaning of life, but hasn't found it.
You know, I've tried to find meaning in my life, and I just can't.
And that bottle of scotch?
I was saving it for my last drink.
Whoa, heavy.
Stewie, with all the honesty in the world, says that if Brian harms himself, it would be selfish, and without him, Stewie wouldn't know what to do with himself.
Wanting to kill yourself? Well, I think that's pretty selfish of you.
How is that selfish?
What would I do if you weren't here? You're the only one who makes my life better.
He says Brian is his only friend, and if he's not around, Stewie would be lost. Then Stewie hits him with a bombshell. He really likes him, cares about him a lot, and drumroll, he loves him.
I care a great deal about you. A very great deal. Maybe even deeper than that. I love you.
With Stewie's heart on his sleeve confession, Brian starts to see the light, and his negative thoughts finally begin to fade.
You give my life purpose, and maybe that's enough. Because that's just about the greatest gift one friend can give another.
Thank you.
Stewie helped him find a new perspective on life and kicked those dark clouds right out of his head. Number 6, helping Chris fight back against bullies in Season 12, Episode 15. In this episode, poor Chris is being bullied by his so-called friends at school to the point where he can't even defend himself.
Hey, fat ass!
Your boobs are bigger than your sister's.
Oh, yeah? Well, you have a sister as well.
That's your comeback?
Oh, man!
Stewie, feeling a mix of pity and annoyance, calls Chris an outcast, likening him to the creepy guy with the scar from Scarface.
You bring the money, I get you the coke.
You got it, Scarface.
Oh my God! You can see that? The doctor said you wouldn't be able to!
Yes, everyone can see that. That's why we call you Scarface.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! We?
Back home, Stewie decides it's time for Chris to stand up for himself. He insists that bullying is not acceptable, and Chris, still feeling low, is told by Stewie that he'll teach him to be so tough that those bullies will bow down to him.
Stewie, it's not so easy. What would you say if I said, "Hey there, shorty"?
I'd say have another donut, you albino gorilla.
Oh, yeah? Well, you have a sister as well.
Because they're brothers, and brothers look out for each other, like Owl and Costello. Wait, did he mean Abbott and Costello? Whatever. Details.
I mean the fella's name on first base. Ooh. The fella playing first base. Ooh. The guy on first base. Ooh. I'm asking you who's on first. Ooh. That's what I'm asking you.
Nothing will ever be funnier than misunderstanding.
Stewie spends all night training Chris, but when they get to school the next day, Chris forgets everything.
What? Come on, Chris. We worked on this all night.
I know. I also had a geometry test.
Well, how'd that go?
Stewie, understandably disappointed, watches as Chris freezes in front of the bullies. At this point, Stewie steps in and makes it clear Chris can only respond with one-liners straight from Stewie's Cool Comeback Handbook.
I heard you were born out of your mom's butt. I heard that from your mom while I was doing her. You're a butt baby, that's why you've got moles all over your chest. Leftover birth duke.
Chris, now feeling slightly more confident, declares that they're like Sherlock Holmes and Watson, a dynamic duo that can't be stopped.
Watson, a clue. The intruder has tracked in a red clay, which can only be found near London's homosexual bathhouse.
Amazing, Holmes. How did you know that?
Just from, like, books and stuff.
Next up, Stewie helps Chris stand up to another bad bully picking on Neil, the Jewish kid.
Hey, why don't you pick on someone your own religion who can fight for themselves? And you're not so tough. You frequently opt out of swim class because of your gross microcephalic penis.
And just when you think things can't get any crazier, a beautiful girl notices Chris for his cool act and starts hitting on him.
Back away, foul wench. Your wide hips hold no temptation for me. A vulva and fallopian tubes.
Finally, a guy who listens. Here's my number. Call me.
Chris suddenly becomes the most popular kid at school. During the student council election, everyone votes for him, and Stewie is so proud he says his teaching skills are better than Jesus himself.
Come on, you're getting crucified out there.
I know. It's a crucifixion.
Well, yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying.
Dad, you're not the coach.
Stewie had taught Chris everything he knew so that he could defend himself, and with that he decided it was time to stop tagging along to school. However, Chris wasn't having any of it and forced Stewie to continue helping him.
I'm running for class president. I need you.
What are you doing?
You're coming to school with me whether you like it or not.
Despite Stewie's desperate attempts to break free from the clutches of Chris's backpack prison, complaining about all his grand plans for the future, Chris remained indifferent.
I'll never get to express disappointment with young people while putting in my dentures.
Stupid younger generation. Back in my day, we had Katy Perry, Justin Bieber. That was real music.
Stewie's good intentions had been taken advantage of, leaving him with only one option, escape. But of course, that didn't go according to plan.
You're gonna die in there.
At the student council election, Chris insisted on dragging Stewie into his scheme, but Stewie stood his ground, refusing to be pushed around.
You were being bullied day in and day out, so I tried to help you. I tried to be a good brother, and you've repaid me with abuse. You're the bully, Chris Griffin.
Instead, he helped Chris come to his senses. In the end, Chris realized his mistake, apologized to Stewie, and withdrew from the election.
I'm dropping out of the election. I'm a big fraud, and I've treated people terribly. Much like Jeff Sucker when he ran NBC.
Number 7, Stewie creates a universe. Season 9, episode 16. The story kicks off when Stewie asks Brian to help him buy items from an Abercrombie & Fitch catalog featuring a muscular guy on the cover.
What do you want to order? Oh wait, let me guess. Him.
He got you, Stewie.
After teasing Stewie, Brian walks off, leaving Stewie furious. In a fit of rage, Stewie uses his time machine to travel back to the past to get back at Brian.
What do you want to order? Oh wait, let me guess. Him.
Really? Why would I order your ex-boyfriend?
He got you, Brian.
The plan works perfectly, filling Stewie with excitement as he exclaims that now he'll always have the last word, just like the man who controlled the Earth during the moon landing.
We came in peace for all the peoples of the earth. We region you. We chose to go to the moon not because it is easy, but because it is hard. Had a lot of help down here, Neil.
The guy tries to say the last word, but due to a weak signal, the astronaut can't hear a thing.
We have slipped the surly bonds of earth and touched the face of God. Yeah, if you could just grab some rocks, Neil, throw them in a bag, we'll get you home safe and sound.
Stewie is absolutely delighted with this new power, traveling back to the courtship of Stewie's father right when Brian is about to pull off his infamous peanut butter jelly time joke.
It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Where yet? Where yet?
Oh my God. Oh, Stewie, that is so funny. Oh, I did not see that coming.
Brian, frustrated, explains it's his joke, but Stewie insists it's just an internet thing.
But that was my thing.
I'm pretty sure it was the internet's thing.
Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
Undeterred, Stewie keeps messing with Brian until Brian finally tries to stop him by taking control of the time machine.
Stewie, I know you've been going back in time to embarrass me.
Oh, what? Come on.
Oh, okay, then where are you going now?
Well, I have a very important mission.
Uh-huh, let me see that.
In the ensuing power struggle, they wreck the time machine, causing a massive explosion. Suddenly, they find themselves in a bizarre, all-white void. Stewie has no idea where they are. He tries to use his time disk to return home, but shockingly, it doesn't work.
Good Lord! This is impossible.
What?
Well, the return pad works by first locking onto our coordinates along the curve of the space-time continuum. But it can't.
After checking, Stewie realizes they've been transported to a place outside of space and time. No past, no future, not even a universe. Just a weirdly funny Cleveland show ad.
Hey, y'all! It's the Cleveland Show!
Huh, that's weird. Black guys usually don't promote themselves.
And with no physics in sight, Stewie has the ultimate freedom to make up the rules. Naturally, he and Brian create a hilarious song just for fun.
I fell in love with you, heart and soul.
the way a fool would do madly. Because you held me tight and stole a kiss in the night.
The only way out? Overloading the reactor to generate enough energy to send them back. Though it's super risky, Stewie hesitates, but Brian promises to share his funniest joke if Stewie does it.
Oh, man.
What? What's the joke?
Oh, yes.
What is it?
Oh, you can't say that, but it got said.
What? By who?
Stewie, being the curious little brat that he is, decides to overload the reactor, because who can resist a good punchline?
We made it.
Yeah, we made it. Okay, now tell me the joke.
Oh, it's nothing really. It's just this bit about a Planned Parenthood clinic on Halloween.
Next.
That night, Stewie happily declares that the explosion that got them home was actually the Big Bang.
The Big Bang happened like billions of years ago.
No, we were outside the space-time continuum. Time and space didn't exist until my explosion. Which means I created the universe, Brian.
Brian naturally calls this ridiculous. After all, Stewie was born in the universe, so how could he have created it?
It's called a temporal causality loop. The universe created me, so I could create it, so it could create me, and so on.
But in the end, everyone in the Family Guy universe owes their existence to Stewie for creating the universe. Because really, it makes perfect sense. After all, Stewie is basically Seth MacFarlane. Number 8. Farting in Peter's deep-sea diving suit in Season 7, Episode 11. The Griffin family heads to the annual Quahog Star Trek convention, where Stewie snags an official blueprint to build a Star Trek teleportation gate.
Brian, look, I purchased authentic blueprints to build a Star Trek transporter.
Well, that's great, Stewie. You should get William Shatner to sign them for you.
No way, I'm getting Patrick Stewart to sign it.
Brian jokingly suggests Stewie should get William Shatner to sign it, and Stewie's like, sure, I'm sure that'll be the highlight of my life.
Rather, he accepts even baldness with a quiet cool that says, I am in command. You are safe with me. I will cradle you in my arms through any crisis in any galaxy.
Are you queer?
Probably.
Meanwhile, Meg is bored out of her mind. Peter, of course, protests, claiming there's no way it's boring because, look, they even have LeVar Burton's glasses to try on.
Why would he wear these? Who would invent these for him?
Stewie's totally hyped to meet the Star Trek cast and can't wait to ask them questions until the audience asks completely irrelevant stuff.
Yes, I have a question. Oftentimes my household sponges accumulate an awful amount of buildup. What can I do to prevent this?
That's an excellent question. It's very important.
Stewie's face says it all. What do you mean? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? This is Star Trek, people.
I have a question for Jonathan Frakes. I have this itch on the back of my leg, and I can't figure out if it's a bug bite or dry skin.
Do you take hot showers?
Yes.
Dry skin.
Thanks.
He's on Star Trek questions, what the hell?
And the best part, two nerds are so caught up in their debate about the plot that they end up getting punched in the face. Perfect timing.
Well, look what we have here, Jonathan.
Yep, looks like we got ourselves a couple of nerds.
Give me $6.
Meanwhile, Peter's dragging Meg around to take photos with a guy who looks like he's straight out of a Star Trek alien costume. Meg's obviously not having it, but come on, when does anyone say no to Peter?
No, Dad, I don't want to.
Come on, it'll be funny. What a wonderful novelty photo this will make.
The kicker, the guy's not even wearing a mask. He's just got mumps, and his face is so swollen. It's like a walking cautionary tale.
What? You came to a Star Trek convention with the mumps? You could be infecting people with a disease.
Yeah, like that old gypsy did to Britney Spears in that Stephen King book.
Meg tragically catches the mumps and is bedridden, but does Peter care? Of course not. He's more concerned with his next gag than his daughter's health.
Some cases, the symptoms could spread to the testicular glands.
Big deal, so I'll wear socks.
Mr. Griffin, your testicles are not in your feet.
Well, where are they?
Under your penis.
Are you kidding? I always thought those were two little sandbags to keep floodwaters from floating into my bum.
Dr. Hartman, rolling his eyes as usual, tells Peter he's completely oblivious to the dangers, like the idiots who think shampooing on an airplane won't end in disaster.
So I told Brenda, I work hard, I like a clean house when I come home. And now I'm the bad guy.
Oh, I know exactly where you're coming.
Ow, it's in my eyes!
Peter, the genius decides to protect himself from the mumps by wearing a full deep-sea diving suit, because that's what sane people do when they're afraid of getting a contagious virus.
Peter, what the hell?
I don't want to catch the mumps, Lois. Here's your TV, Meg. It's a little old and there's no remote and it only gets one channel and it's not on that channel right now.
But karma's a funny thing. Stewie, with the subtlety of a wrecking ball, lets out a massive fart in Peter's suit. The result? Peter pukes in his own wetsuit. It's like the universe finally balancing things out for Meg, one fart at a time.
This whole day has been one big laugh riot.
Number 9. Preventing Osama bin Laden from attacking Quahog in Season 4, Episode 14. Somewhere in a cave in Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden and his henchmen are filming a threatening video for America.
This is a message to all American infidels. Prepare to die in a sea of holy fire. You will be punished for your decadent ways on the first day of Ramadan.
When bin Laden mentions Ramadan, he can't hold back his laughter, because even he doesn't really buy into the whole Islamic holiday thing.
What I say, Ramadan? Ramadan. Ramadan, what is that? What is yeah, maybe Dennis Rodman is going to punish you with his crazy hair. No?
Osama tries to stay serious for the camera, but every time he looks at his crew, their ridiculous faces crack him up.
Stop making that face over there. What are you doing? I can't. He makes that face and it makes me laugh. Okay, you know, just turn around. Turn around. I don't care where you look. Just look over there. Okay. All right.
His focus is totally shot, and soon he starts teasing one of his guys.
Oh, yeah, look who's snickering over there, mister. I can't do a suicide bombing because I'm sick. He had a note. He got you. He had a note from his doctor. He brought a note from his doctor. It's a suicide bombing.
Bin Laden attempts to get back on track, but it's no use. He's now playing with a rubber chicken like it's the latest comedy prop. It's like watching a stand-up comedy show where Osama's the headliner, and his punchline is just chaos.
Just totally like with the chicken right here, because everyone would be like, what the hell? What is death to Americans? Just let him do it. Let him do the tape. Yeah? Don't blame me, it was the chicken.
Then in a classic comedic turn, he dons a pair of oversized glasses, stepping into the scene like he's auditioning for a slapstick routine, sending everyone into hysterics.
Death to America. What? What are you looking at? What, do I have something on my face? What, right here? What? Oh, I'm just wearing my regular glasses. I always wear these. What? It's me in an 80s movie, right?
But the laughter dies down faster than a punchline at a bad comedy club when they suddenly realize Stewie Griffin is in the room, and he's not here for the jokes.
How's it going, Chief?
Good day to you, sir. And now prepare to die.
With a flash of his toddler-sized menace, Stewie takes out bin Laden's entire crew with the precision of a seasoned action hero, all while wielding that rubber chicken like it's a weapon of mass destruction. Before leaving, Stewie makes it clear no one is attacking Quahog. Not today, not ever. And with that, he walks off, leaving a room full of confused terrorists and a trail of rubber poultry behind him.
Who are you?
I'm Stewie Griffin. And don't ever let me catch you guys in Quahog.
Number 10, saving Lois from Diane in Season 9, Episode 1. In this spine-chilling episode, the Griffin family is invited to a fancy mansion for an awards ceremony.
If you will all please follow me to third floor, I show you to your rooms. You are all expected for dinner at 8 o'clock.
Oh, good. I'm starved.
Settle down, will you?
Things start off pretty cheerful until, out of nowhere, a murder occurs, and then another and another.
Oh my God, Muriel, my sweet Muriel. She was so young. She was so beautiful. She was so generous. We were married.
The guests quickly descend into chaos and fear. Joe and the gang try to get to the bottom of things, and all the evidence points to Tom Tucker as the mastermind behind it all.
Damn, he's slippery.
You guys give up?
This is the scene that made me laugh the most. After the failed chase, they huddle together to come up with a plan to catch Tom.
What if half of us go around one side of the table and the other half go around the other side, and then we won't have to chase them around in circles?
Damn, that's awfully risky.
It sure is. But at this point, I'm willing to try anything.
It worked!
The next morning, the police show up to arrest Tom, but while talking to Diane, Lois has a shocking revelation. Diane is the real killer. It turns out Diane blames Tom for tanking her career, which led to James Woods breaking up with her.
Tom began pushing Channel 5 News to replace me with a fresh young face, and he succeeded. 3 weeks from now, I'll be off the air.
So she came up with a devious plan to take everyone down, and Lois was the one who figured it all out. Naturally, Lois also has to die now, because that's how these things work in a murder mystery.
Well, now you know everything, Lois. Which, of course, means I have to kill you.
Here's where it gets hilarious. Peter strolls into the room to grab his car keys, completely oblivious to the fact that his wife is being held hostage by Diane.
Please recognize when I'm acting out of the ordinary because I'm in danger. Here you go. Here's the key, Pete.
Why's she calling me Pete? We've been married 14 years. She never called me Pete. Why am I trying to figure this out when I could be listening to my tapes in the car? Bye!
Diane drags Lois to the edge of a cliff, and despite Lois's desperate pleas, she's ready to finish the job. But plot twist, someone swoops in to save the day. Lois has no idea who it is, but she's very grateful to whoever pulled her out of danger.
Whoever you are, thank you.
And then, bam! On top of the building, we finally see who the mystery savior is. Stewie! The little guy had been lurking with a sniper rifle and saved his mom just in time.
If anybody's gonna take that bitch down, it's gonna be me.
Now, some might argue this is a controversial move. After all, Stewie has talked about killing Lois before. But here's the thing, he had plenty of opportunities to offer, but didn't. Why? Because deep down, I truly believe Stewie loves his mom. He might joke about wanting to end her life, but in his heart, he's just a little boy who wants to protect her.